Hey guys, my name is Jaleesa, and I'm back for another video. So today I'm just going to film another Q&A for Tourette's Awareness Month. Almost definitely by the time that I get this out, Tourette's Awareness Month is going to be over because I'm filming this quite late. But it's never a bad time to spread awareness. But yeah, let's just get on with the questions then. By the way, these are questions from my last Tourette's Q&A. I think I'm just going to continue to do them, so if you do have questions that you'd want to be featured in a Q&A, please leave them down in the comments below. I almost said description. That's not, you can't type in the description, only I get to do that. But yeah, please just leave them in the comments below, and maybe in the next video I'll get to them. Also, I do have coprolalia, so I do swear, and I'm probably going to do that a lot in this video. Not everyone with Tourette's does, it's only 10%, but I do. So if that bothers you, you can go watch another video. Anyways, Kevin D asks, do your tics ever relate to something going on around you and make a situation awkward? Yes, they do, which is actually it's quite surprising to a lot of people because my tics, I say all the time, they are pretty random, just like misfirings of my brain. But yeah, sometimes they do relate to what's going on around me, and I don't really understand that myself. Let's see if I can think of an example. Oh, a good example is last week. My friends were talking about like growing their beards out, and I got this tic, don't grow a beard, and I still have it. Don't grow a beard. See? There was a time when I was playing Dungeons and Dragons with with a few of my friends, not just one. And my friend used an invisibility spell, and I ticked. You can only be seen in Arkansas. So sometimes they're quite funny, and you can laugh at any time one of my tics is funny or in context or something like that. One thing that I do want to say is that my tics aren't my thoughts or anything like that. Even if they're in context, I haven't planned them out or thought about them. They still they just happen. You know, sometimes it's one of the more positive sides of Tourette's because it is funny, it does make me laugh, and it makes situations more interesting. So yeah, sometimes they can be in context. I don't know why. Sure, it's one of the mysteries of Tourette's, I guess. Someone asked if I had any support systems in my area, and yes I do. There's a couple of Tourette's support groups that I go to. I think a lot of people are scared off by the word support group, but we do have a lot of fun. Yeah, I've met some good friends at Tourette support groups, and it's really nice because they all understand everything, and you don't feel like you have to explain anything except just to like relate to another person. Sometimes we don't even talk specifically about Tourette's, we just hang out with people that all get it. And we do have like educational stuff. If you have Tourette's and there's a support group near you, I highly encourage you to go to it, invite people to it, because sometimes they can be quite small, because again, I think people are scared off by the word support group, or I don't know what people are envisioning that it'll be, but it can be really fun when a lot of us get together. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I got interrupted, so sorry if the frame is different in the lighting, but we're just gonna continue with the Q&A. Sarah Araka or Rocha, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm gonna write it out here, but she asks if I have any new tics. The answer to that is probably always going to be yes. I get new tics all the time, and I lose old tics all the time, and that's my freezer being loud. Sorry if you can hear that. But some of the new ones that I have right now are that one. I just did it because I thought about it. So yeah, I shake my head, and I've been doing that quite a lot. It's been making my neck kind of sore. And even though I've been swearing for quite a while, I've been saying the F word for quite a while now, I have sort of a new... What is that noise? Sorry, I think my mom's radio is on in the background. But I sort of have a new one where, yeah, I twitch as I say it, and so it like pushes it out, and it's kind of uncomfortable because it's like really sudden. I don't know how to explain it. There's the don't grow a beard one that I mentioned earlier. Oh, there's that one. I've sort of been doing that in this video, but not while I've been talking, so it might have gotten edited out until now. Not that I just try to edit out my tics, but I just edit out the boring parts, and sometimes there's tics in there. Promise I don't edit out my tics just for the sake of editing them out. But yeah, there's that like I did it because I thought about it. I have these new-ish like arm shaking ones. Oh, that's been getting a little bit frustrating, especially because it combines with my elbow tic, where I do that and I have to get a certain pressure on my elbows. Probably looks like I'm about to like punch you guys in the face, but yeah, those are just a few of my new tics. I'm sure there's some more minor ones that I haven't really been paying attention to. Oh, you know what? There's one that I've got that isn't minor, which is a pretty loud barking tic that I don't quite like that much because it's loud and sudden and people wonder who the heck is barking like a dog. It generally it gets a lot more attention than my other tics. It definitely gets a lot more looks, and yeah, it's a bit frustrating. OCP asks, do you speak any other language than English? Heck, if you do, does it distract you from your tics like when you drive? I do. Well, I don't speak sign language. I sign. I use ASL. But if I'm just signing, or I don't know. Here, I'll show you. I'll sign for a bit, and I'll put the captions on. And you can see. Cats. Fuck. So yeah, you can clearly see that I still tic when I sign. I am trying very slowly on my own to learn French. And I have gotten a few French tics, but they don't seem to be that consistent. I actually have a couple of tics in German too, which is interesting because I haven't tried to learn German, but I do follow like this German sort of YouTube channel that's pretty interesting, and my friend is trying to learn German, so I guess I picked it up a little bit, and I'm not gonna say what I say because it's a swear word. But yeah, I can tick in other languages. I've ticked in sign language, which was also a swear word, but the ones in French weren't swear words. That's quite interesting. Shalafi? I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but again, I'm just gonna write it. I'm gonna write it out here. They're asking, is your train of thought interrupted by your tics at any point? For example, when you have a string of tics, is your attention completely on them? Or are you still aware of things and can react accordingly without needing things to be repeated? This question is actually quite complicated to answer, surprisingly. A lot of the times I tic very automatically. Some of them I don't even think I really realize what I'm doing. Or they don't require that much concentration. I just do them sort of like you blink or you breathe without really having to think about it. But as I've mentioned before, there is what's called a premonitory urge that comes with tics, which is basically like, for me it's a physical feeling. It almost feels like pressure or energy, or that feeling that you get when you've been holding your breath for a long time but in your muscles, if that makes any sense. And sometimes it does come with a thought. Like sometimes I don't even like physically feel them. I just think, I don't know, there's still an urge, but I can't explain it. And sometimes just that urge does take away my concentration a little bit. That also could just be that I have ADHD and I'm distracted super easily, and tics in general are just super distracting. So some of them do sort of, that urge, that feeling, it gets sort of all-encompassing, and it does sort of interrupt my thoughts for a second, but I do try to get back on track. But for most of them, I'm only distracted as much as the people outside of my body are distracted. I don't know if that makes any sense, or like there's not much that's like inherently distracting about my tics, except for the fact that, you know, they're tics and my body moves, and sometimes there's just noises or a lot of feelings going on here that just, they're distracting. But I don't like if you're talking to me and I tic, you can keep talking. That's something a lot of people do, is they stop talking when I tic as if I can't hear them. And unless I'm saying like some huge complete sentence and I've totally blocked out your voice that way, no, I can hear and pay attention to everything completely fine. Wishing for a Horse, nice username, asks, so Tourette's is all for life, no cure? And no, there is no cure for Tourette's, unfortunately. There's a lot of people with Tourette's that actually wouldn't take it because they see it as a part of them. I personally think I would. There are some medications that can treat it, but I'm not on any right now because the side effects can be so horrible. Like, most of the medications that I've been on have made me feel really, really tired or depressed, and it's just not worth it. In fact, some people do grow out of it as they get older. I'm obviously not one of those people. Or it gets better, and Tourette's can wax and wane. Sometimes it's better and sometimes it's worse, but for most people it is going to be for life. There are other treatments that are more drastic, like DBS, which if I end up trying all the medications and they don't work in like the next 5 years or something, that could be an option for me. It's basically a brain surgery, but it still doesn't cure it. It just, you can treat it, you can make the symptoms a bit better, but no, not cure it. We don't know how to do that yet. Not a Banana, whose channel you should totally go check out because she has a great channel. I'll put her link in the description, so shout out to her. But she asked, do you ever notice that different areas and places are more accepting of you than others? For me, I've noticed that I can walk down the main street of one suburb without a problem, then walk down another and have people death staring. And yes, I have noticed this. It's really weird because, like, I don't know why some places are worse than others. At first I thought it just had to do with the severity of my tics, because my tics used to be like a lot more consistently severe, and I would have like my limbs flying everywhere, and I was very loud. But I've noticed, like, even when I have mild days where I'm just like doing little twitches and squeaking or something, no, people still stare sometimes on those days. Sometimes I can be super loud, super obvious Tourette's, super complex vocal tics, full sentences that probably make me look like I'm crazy or dangerous on drugs, and nobody bats an eye, nobody cares. I just go on with my day. And other times it'll just barely be anything. I'll do one little, like, movement, or I'll do that or something, you know, it'll just not be that bad. And everyone will be staring. Yeah, some places do tend to be worse than others, but I'm not even sure like what types of places those are. But I do get different reactions in different places that don't necessarily have to do with the severity of my Tourette's that day. And it's really weird. The last question for today was asked by Just Joshua, and he was asking if I have any favorite tics. Yeah, I do, actually. There are some tics that I like as far as tics go. I know that's kind of weird because I don't generally like tics. I don't think they're fun or very nice to have, but yeah, there are some that have been funny, or like there are some noises that I like and a lot of other people like my little pigeon noise. I go hoo, hoo, So that is, I think, a pretty cool noise. I am somewhat fond of my squeaks, like my little or, you know, it's just stuff like that, even though they do sort of hurt my voice after a while. But they're a lot nicer than some of my other tics. I'm sort of loving the new don't grow a beard one. Don't grow a beard. Don't grow a beard. Yeah, that one's pretty great. I don't think it's wrong to like some of your tics. I think it's just a way of finding the positives in some of them, and sometimes it's just good to embrace, like, hey, that's a pretty cool noise that I make. Some tics, I think, as far as tics go, can be quite cool, and I think we should embrace them. Again, I don't think, like, Tourette's is a cool thing. I hope I'm making that clear. Like, Tourette's is not cool or nice or enjoyable. But yeah, there are some of my tics that I like. I have a hard time deciding on a favorite one, but if I have to decide on, like, the best one that I've ever had, this will probably change. But right now, it would probably have to be the time when I said, I'm stuck inside a GPS. Turn left. Yeah, that one was great. But that's all the questions that I got in this video. Please give me more. I love answering all of your questions or inquiries or whatever. It's pretty fun to do, and it does give me some, like, easy video inspiration. So keep them coming. They don't even have to all be about Tourette's. You can just ask random stuff if you like, and I'll answer them. But yeah, this is, I think, a pretty long video already. I don't know how much editing is going to help the time, but it's been like almost 30 minutes again. I'm gonna go. That's all I got for you guys today. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of my face. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys!